admire us. It is 7 major tests that I have written to get here. The 3 toughest tests, one has to do with your parents. The second hardest has to do with your spouse. The third and most difficult has to do with your child. After that, you can talk about money. In the case of Job, he had 10 boys. 10 children. 10. 7 boys, 3 girls. You're talking about exams. Some people have written from very difficult exams. And all of these children went to party and the building collapsed and killed somebody's 10 children in one day. Who did it? Satan. What does he want? Curse God. What is being tested? You say you have faith in God. You say you love God. You say you want to serve God. But that's the problem with people. Who wants a woman in your life who is only after your money? How many of you will like it? Men. Who wants a man in your life, all you ladies, who is only after your body? How many of you girls will like it? How do you expect God to like a person that is serving him for only what he gets? So sometimes they permit the devil to actually test this thing you say you are doing. And then at the end of that, what happened to Job? They gave him double. Everything was double. His wealth doubled. Do you know they wiped out his wealth in a short while? The wealthiest man in the whole East. It's God that gave him the same wealth. It's God that permitted Satan. It's not that Satan just did it. God permitted. He was watching. So if scarcity hits and you can't pass that test, then you don't qualify for abundance. That's how God knows those he can trust with money. I'm not talking about small money. I mean real money. And if we can't handle things like this, then we're not ready for the last days. Oh, some difficult days will come in these last days. Oh. This generation of Christians have been raised without persecution. Then what will our brothers in the north that are being killed say? They should now tear their Bible. Somebody workshop, a woman came out, was crying this December. All her children plus her husband burnt down just because they are Christians. Not that they committed any offense. And such people will get up and they are preaching. And the ones in southern part of Nigeria are complaining that their car burnt. If your car burnt, adversity quotient, there are 7 lessons in it. That anytime God permits a trial, he has something big on the way. They just want to check what you would do in that situation. So if you have failed the exam before, write the receipt and pass it this time. So you can move to it. Anytime you see God permit it, promotion is on it. You see that church? I was in that church last year. And I was shown a mega auditorium. If you see this beautiful auditorium. And I was telling them on their pulpit. And everybody was shouting, amen. Everybody stood up. Everywhere screamed. And the day they are to start a conference this year, their building burned down. Is God a fool? So, confusion. Where is God? How can he let this happen? Even my brother, the pastor, he said, God normally shows him things. He didn't show him this one. It's the building that they want to move them into. Joseph rose in Egypt, and God used them. When he passed his own test, he was sold into slavery. After he saw a vision that his brothers was going to bow down to him, that he was going to be a great man, and other people will bow to him. After such a vision, the next thing is, you find yourself being sold into slavery. Then, that's how the confusion comes. What is all this? God, you lied to me. What's going on? That's how that vision will come to pass. Is the vision going to come to pass? You sitting in your father's house, doing mommy's boy, wearing coat of many colors. Is that how you're going to be prime minister? The destiny God showed him, he thought it was going to happen where he was going to happen in the land of Egypt. So when the devil created that setup, what you call the problem, it was God giving him transportation to the new place. He got to Egypt, he went to jail for 2 years. Falsely accused by the madam of the Oga he was serving for refusing to sleep with her. Accused. So second test. God, where are you? This is a lie. You told me. What you showed me. This is opposite of what you showed me. No. Because when God brought him to Egypt, he didn't bring him to be a boy to Potiphar. It was bringing him to be prime minister. So I brought you into Potiphar's house so you can learn some things. You have overstayed. So that was your sack letter. If you're praying to God, you're believing for 1 billion, you are believing to own your own company, and then you wake up one morning, your company gives you a quit notice. Stop complaining, my friend. They are giving you a push so that you can take the step you need to take. Anytime you see adversity, it's a sign of transition. That there is another level. You have exhausted this season in your life. There is a new season about to start. God now wants to help you with a push. But the devil, because he's the external examiner, when they permit him, he comes thinking that I'm here to... okay, think about Jesus. If he didn't die, are we going to be here saved? Are we going to have the New Testament? Will he now be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords today? No. For him, his own transition was beyond the cross. For us. So it was when he went to prison, that's where he met the man that will lead him to the palace. It was another man that came to prison, but he came from government house. And he used his gift, interpreted his dream. You can imagine, I'm no more doing this ministry. I've taught my Bible, I will use my gifts again. God is a liar. You have died in prison now. He did the same ministry he has been doing, and this time, the guy returned back to the palace. He was the one that made the recommendation to the king. There is a man that changed my life. I met him in prison, and that's how they brought him. And he did what he did for Pharaoh and ends up prime minister. Now, I want you to watch. The reward of suffering. When he became a prime minister, he was 30. He ruled for 80 years. He died in office at the age of 110. If I have to write the exam for 2 years to enjoy 80 years, Lord, let it be so. Are you going to bring Jesus and kill him a second time now? He has already passed that test. There are some of us repeating class because we don't understand what is going on. You lost your husband. Who told you that's the best man for you? You know whether there is something much better. But your attitude can keep you in that same place. When one door closes, realize that God is permitting it because there is something bigger ahead of you. It's called adversity quotient. There is intelligence that has to do with adversity. You have financial intelligence. You learn social skills for managing people and emotional intelligence. You learn spiritual intelligence to grow in the things. But there is adversity intelligence. And if you don't have it, that's where Satan will knock you out. Because when he throws something, even if it's what is for your good, you throw up your hand